Hello everyone, I am back and I apologise again for my complete inactivity on this account because again life gets in the way and get busy and stuff. But as promised, here is my Ghostface killer ranking video and it won the poll, so that's the next video I wanted to focus on. And actually I've not really done a Ghostface killer ranking for a while, especially all of them together, if that makes sense. So I wanted to do that and I will try and do more community posts and I'll try and get back into it. And I want to do live streams again at some point, but we'll find out. So I'll be more active on my personal account, but this account is for my own uploads and stuff. So I want to try and cover more areas, not just Scream, but I do want to do some Star Wars videos, Harry Potter videos, anything really, or just tier lists. I'm going to try and find out how to do tier lists, but I don't have a lot of technology. I need to start investing and trying to get more mics and stuff and actually try and find a place to record and stuff, but we'll find out all that as we go along. Anyway, without further ado, let's get to it, shall we? So I'm including all 14 of them, even though one of them doesn't really count as a ghost face, but the next couple are the bottom tiers. So I'm going to mention a tier as I go along, but this ghost face there's only one that deserves to be an F tier because he's not technically a ghost face. It's Greg Bruckner, and he was the supposedly accomplice of Jason Carvey, and he doesn't really get a chance to do anything because Jason and Greg were, okay, spoilers ahead, I'm gonna put that in the video, spoilers. Anyway, they were supposed to start a spree and finish where Richie and Amber left off in Scream 5, but Jason, like he says in the film, got blue balls and decided to kill the professor straight away. But then the real Ghostface, Wayne, Ethan, and Quinn planned to kill them anyway, so they killed them off. And Jason found Greg literally sliced to death in the fridge. And I'm putting him in F tier because the poor bloke didn't really get a chance, did he? So that's where I put Greg. Not much to say about him, but you know. And then the next one is Jason Harvey, and he's like an E tier. I wouldn't put him in the same tier as Greg because we did get to see that cool opening where Ghostface kills Laura and it's revealed it's Jason, and he goes off, he sees Tara, and we're thinking, oh no, they don't know that he's a killer. And then obviously it's the cat and mouse, warmer, colder kind of thing in his apartment situation where he doesn't know who's actually on the phone. And we know that it's Wayne that was in the Ghostface costume killing Jason at this point. I liked it. Wasn't the best opening in my opinion. It was great. It did something new, but again, Jason and Greg were basically just cannon fodder at this point. But he gets points for a brutal kill, for being the first reveal in the movie, a very early reveal, and then having the reverse standard where he is now the victim to the real Ghostface. So I put Jason E tier. And the next two Ghostfaces are in D tier, in my opinion. And the next one, similar to the previous two, is Quinn. She, out of the other three, didn't really do much. She only has one confirmed kill, who's Brooke Scales' boyfriend in this movie. And she didn't really get a chance to do anything because she had a fake out death and stuff. So we didn't really get to see her do much. I know she gets points for attacking Mindy and helping Ethan attack Chad, but out of the three of them, she wasn't really that hands-on, was she? So I put her here, and I did like her post-reveal, but it just felt like a hybrid of what we had with the previous female killers. So Quinn doesn't really get a chance to shine. This is our first ginger Ghostface because there's a trend that all the Ghostfaces have dark haired apart from Wayne and her herself, and Stu of course because Stu's blonde. But I think Billy as well, actually, I don't know. But most of them are all dark haired, individuals. But I like that. But Quinn didn't really get a chance to do anything, really, because she had to basically pretend she was dead most of the movie. So, yeah, I put Quinn she's 12th. So, and the one who doesn't quite make top 10, in my opinion, is Ethan again. He doesn't really get a chance to do much because, again, he's only an accomplice. But I did like that where Wayne was talking about how a father has connection to their first son, and Ethan was just like, you wanker. But Ethan gets credit for the apartment scene for killing Annika and Paul. I don't really know if he does much other than that when he's in Ghostface apart from attacking Chad. But he has that weird scene where he's being innocent to Mindy and trying to help her, and then he has GTFO because he's got to get to the shrine. But it's that was a bit weird of a weird pacing issue. It's should that scene have come a bit sooner? I don't know, but who knows. But I don't really have much to say about these four Ghostface killers because they just get completely outshined by the top 10, if you will. But Ethan is my favourite of the two accomplices because we actually got to see his drastic change from being that shy, dorky kid to this like guy who's like enjoying everything. Kind of gave me Stu vibes. Ironically, they both died a similar way. But, you know, anyway, moving on. 10th place, I have Richie. And it might be controversial putting Richie below another killer that's coming up. But I put Richie here because again, he doesn't really have much to do. Like I get that he's like the mastermind behind Scream Five, but it's like there's a mixed posts about whether he got one or two kills, but like I don't know. Is Vince's kill? Is Wes's kill? Who knows? But and people are trying to dictate about the styles, but it's like sometimes the Ghostface might have to switch styles in order to throw everyone off. Like Nancy did in Scream 2. She did everything primarily left-handed to trace it back left-handed, sorry, back to Mickey to keep traceable. But when she starts attacking Sydney in a theatre, she has her right hand ready. So it's like they can switch styles, so you can't really justify Screen 5 where like Amber's got the brutal style only. They're not computers that have one system. I get that she's more brutal than Richie and Richie's the more smart one, but whether he's got one or two kills, it's just like it puts him on par with Ethan, but I prefer Richie over Ethan. I like the motivation, like, you know, it's toxic fandoms, it's all stab orientated, so it's quite meta and related to times now. I didn't mention the Screen 6 motives. I do like the escalated Screen 2 vibe where it's all killers, like a family, they're all working together in that way. A good way to have all three working together. But Richie was just, he was so good post reveal. Like Jack Quaid, he gets it. Like that was a really good reveal. Did not see that coming because I was like, clearly can't be Richie. I was just like, is it Richie? Is it not Richie? He was my suspect, but I just wasn't sure at this point. Like throughout the film, I was sussed it, but at that point, when he's coming down the stairs, I was like, it can't be Richie because they revealed Amber and it had another ghost face, and I didn't think that I don't know if it was a third killer or something, but I was like, my doubts of Richie just went down, and then it caught me by surprise. So I was quite glad. I'm quite glad I doubted myself. Anyway, I'm dragging on. Next, I have Wayne Bailey. And Wayne and Richie are like C tier, in my opinion. I forgot to mention that. They are C tier. So Ethan and Quinn are D tier. Wayne and Richie are C tier. They are basically underdogs, in my opinion. And Wayne was one of the most brutal killers we ever got. First, he's a shotgun. I love everything he does. Like, pretty much in the first half of the movie, he does most of the kills, which makes sense because he's the smarter killer of the bunch. He's the one, the cop. It's good to get a cop as a killer and trying to cover everything up. And obviously, then he allows them. They all had to switch at some point in the movie and take over the Ghostface killer to trick the others into all the victims into thinking it's not any of them, even though they are suspects. Um, but I like Wayne. I like him being like a desperate father. It's good to get a father as a killer for a change. I know it kind of feels like a copy of Nancy, but the way the movie works out, it's not really much of a Screen 2 copy if you think about it. It's just I like it. I really do like it. And fleshing Richie characters out with his own family, it really helped to solidify Richie for me, which is why Richie will always be in top 10 regardless of where I put him. But I put the father and son in the same tier. Next, I have Amber, and she is the first of the B tier ghost faces. And don't get me wrong, I do love Amber, but again, like Quinn, I just feel like she's a mashup of previous. She feels like a Jill 2.0 in my opinion. I do love Mikey Madison for doing what she did with the with Amber, with the squeak and with the scream and with the way that she gets back up when she's on fire. Would a killer would not back down and kept getting back up. But I don't know, it's just she felt like a bit Gen Z to me, in my opinion, and it's just I don't really like the Screen 5, Screen 6 killers too much. I do enjoy them, don't get me wrong, but I just think the killers in the first four movies you can't top them. But Amber does get credit for being brutal. She does get credit for killing Judy and Dewey, and she does get credit for just enjoying what she's doing. Like she really did like her back and forth with her and Gail, spot on. And I do love that Sydney and Gail threw her over the counter. I do love Amber towards the end of the film. I just feel like her pre-reveal, her character was just a bit to me. But it was different with Jill because it's smart the way they did it with Jill. I just feel like Amber didn't really have much to do. She just felt like the irrelevant one in the group. It was like I just didn't really connect to her the way I connected. I connected to Wes more than I connected to Amber. Then the second Amber became a killer, I was like, yes. So I put Amber here. I think it's fair to put Amber in B tier rather than C tier because she does get credit for what she does. It might be controversial putting her above Wayne, but I do prefer Amber as a character more than Wayne. So anyway, next is Nancy, and don't get me wrong, Nancy is phenomenal. I do think she did kill Cece and Phil though, but I don't think she just killed Nancy. And technically she counts as killing Mickey because she took him down first. The rule is whoever takes him down first and the off first gets the kill. So Nancy does get that credit, and she is the first one to portray another killer. And it's a character that wasn't in the first film. They basically took a character that was mentioned in the first film and made them the killer. Genius, and how batshit crazy she was and had everything down to a T. She was willing to trick everyone to thinking Mickey was the only killer, and I think that's genius. And I love her back and forth between her and Sydney. Like that showdown, fantastic. And it just gives us more context of of the stuff that happened before Scream and like things that happen, like things that would happen off screen as well, like what it would have been like the Nancy and Maureen dynamic. I love it. So I put Nancy here, and then I put Charlie next. So Nancy is the last of the B tier. The next three killers are all in A tier, and Charlie's here, and I feel like he is a bit underrated and overhated. Charlie gets credit for killing Olivia and does do most of the killing. Do think he's a 5 or 6 killing, but I do want to give Jill more credit because I feel like people are trying to make Jill another one of those killers that only gets a couple of kills and dictating it by saying, oh, but she wouldn't want to like do most of the killing. She's a mastermind, but it's like you can see in the third act she is very hands-on. So yeah, he at least gets 5 or 6 kills because I firmly believe that Jill killed Jenny because of the motivations and stuff. But Charlie does the hands-on. He is very hands-on, very brutal. I did love the twist where it got throwback to the first film where we think he's the victim and then he stabs Kirby. He gets credit for that as well. He is a very fun killer. I do like him. I do think he needed more to do pre-reveal, but I do get why they're trying to balance him out with all the other newbies and obviously Sydney, Gale, and Dewey. But Charlie is a very, very, very great killer, and he's in my lucky number spot, which is 6. So I feel it's fair to put him here. And I wanted to put him in B tier, but I thought let's put him at A minus, A minus killer. Like, well done, Charlie. You did your job. Next is Mickey. Breaking into the top 5 is Mickey, and it's very, very scary now. Because you first watch it and you think, oh my god, you keep rewatching and you think, he's the only one that's actually a full-on psychopath before the films anyway. Like, Nancy found him on a psycho website, and he's the first one to actually scare the crap out of Sydney because I think he's firmly another reason why she was in hiding in the third one. Like the fact that he pretended to be her friend this entire time was actually some creep she doesn't know. I love Mickey as a killer. He's very fun. He is like Stu on steroids, basically. And Stu is a spooky killer as it is anyway because of how much he doesn't have a motivation. But Mickey's motivation against Nancy's revenge, and he wants to blame the movies and get into court and be caught and just basically to act horror movies is quite good how it works. It's not 90s and current. It works. Um, but yeah, I do like Mickey as a killer. He is very, even though he disappears like for 40 minutes of the movie, I believe. He disappears for a lot of the movie, but I do get why they had to like sideline him because they needed to get the plot going. But that was a bit sus. But Mickey is a very fun killer. I don't know why I'm struggling to talk now. I think it's because I've done these screen rankings so many times now. But don't get me wrong, I love these killers. So yeah. Next, I put Roman here. Most people, again with Charlie, people like to hate Roman. He's Daddy Roman, should I say? Should I even say that? But Roman is a really good killer. The fact he's the only solo killer and he gets his job done. He has the most kills, and his back and forth with Sydney in that final showdown, hilarious and iconic. When he shows the fucking responsibility, fuck you, fuck you. I love the back and forth. It was a really genius one. I know it's like it feels a bit like jarring that Sydney doesn't know who he is, but most of the time Sydney knows who the killers are. But like, I love the fact that when he takes the mask off, she's like, it's genius. I love it because they have no scenes together before the reveal. So I just love for once that Sydney's like, her cogs are turning. She's like, who the fuck are you? I love it. It's brilliant. But yeah, Scream 3 is getting more love now, and I love it. Scream 3 is a very underrated film, and Roman is a really brilliant killer, and it's just a history with like going back to the events before Scream 1. It's like Randy said, it reveals something thought true, it wasn't true, and like it's just the context wise and how desperate Rowan was to get revenge, and he was the mastermind behind everything. I hope they can't wait to see how they incorporate Roman and Stu back into Scream 7 in some sort of genius way, because obviously they're not going to bring them back to life. Stu more likely, but it's just, I can't wait to see Roman back. It's going to be great. But anyway, Roman's here, fourth place. He's like an A plus. And now, top three, and I've always said that these three are my favourite forever now. And third place, I have Billy. Billy is a very genius killer. I know they did the whole is he a killer, is he not, is he a killer, is he not? But he is the one of the OGs. He is so freaking scary. Like the first film is really scary. Like the opening scene, the way those two work together. One has no motive and one is literally getting revenge. But he is so messed up the way he treats Sydney in the entire film, and the fact that we find out later on in Scream 5 and 6 that he had another daughter with another woman, Christina, and I think that's just adds to the complicated history of Billy Loomis, but he is forever iconic. He is literally Ghostface, and it's one of the ones where you hear the voice and you see him work. Billy is spooky. He's scary as fuck. He got his job done. He is literally the scariest Ghostface out there, and I just love him. I know that I've got two more killers above him, but Billy does get credit where credit is due. He is literally the definition of a psycho killer, more so than Mickey, but Billy is iconic. Anyway, I want to move on because I keep talking about Mickey. I keep talking about Billy in my rankings. I feel like I need to move on. So if you want me to hear more about my points, then let me know, or let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Anyway, second place, I put Stu here. I put Stu above Billy. The fact that Stu is there, it was like peer pressure. A lot of Matthew Lill's lines in the films work for me. Like he's like peer pressure. I'm far more sensitive or whatever he says. And he's like, you hit me with the phone, dick, or my mum and dad told me so mad at me. I just love it. Like the dynamic between Billy and Stu is just genius, and I just love Stu more because of his motivation. He has no motive. He's just doing it for the fun. Also, his theory is that he's in love with Billy, but we never know about that. But I just love Stu as a killer. He's just like the fun guy. He's just there to do his job. He's just there to. He's just he's on the winning team or something like that. It's just, I love it. And he's back and forth with Sydney on the phone as well. It's genius. But, and he's like, I've always had a thing for you, Sid, in your dreams. Like, iconic. That film is going to go down in history forever. And I love the fact that they all admitted that they didn't know where this film was going to go. And look at it now. It's a cultural phenomenon. And you see why. And I love Stu and Billy throughout the movies. But Billy felt like more like that cool guy. Doesn't really say much. But Stu was just fun throughout the entire movie. And was kind of like the polar opposite of Randy as well. Stu and Billy are just such well done killers. And, you know, they should be in everyone's top three, in my opinion. But hey ho. And now getting to the controversial point. I know I put this particular killer above, but I think this killer is the only one that can be put on the same level as the OG because of how hands-on they were, how much they had everything down to a T. They got the closest to winning, closest to killing Sydney, Jill Roberts. She went from, and it's intentionally done, a blandish girl next door kind of role, innocent kind of schoolgirl, to a batshit crazy bitch, and I love it. Her dialogue, just like the OG film, her dialogue with Sydney is outmatched. You can kind of say it between her and Nancy, her mimicking her and Roman, but Jill is the only one, in my opinion, that can either match or surpass the original. She is badass, a crazy bitch, got her job done, so entertaining. The fact we literally had a full on scene of her beating herself up to make herself like a victim, and the fact that she has a human flaw. Her human flaw is she would not shut the fuck up. I love it. The fact that she slipped up to Dewey. Dewey tells Gail, and Gail's like, what, she was stabbed in the shoulder? How she know I was too? And Dewey's like, shit. I love it. In fact, she had control of everything. She had control in the kitchen, and Charlie had no idea that she was gonna kill him. She had control in the hospital scene and was only outsmarted by Gail and Sydney, of course, the final girls. Gail basically put her into a situation, like, have one final word? What? Please? No. Clear, clear, clear. I love it. Meta. All the times we've watched horror hospital scenes and seen the clear, 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 and they use that. And also, I think it's kind of nostalgia because I understand why OG fans they worship the first film because I do too. But my generation is Scream 4 because growing up, I watched films with Emma Roberts and Hayden Panettiere throughout my childhood with my sister, and then they put these two actresses together in this film. Scream 4 is my film, but it does so much tribute to the first film that they just go hand in hand in my opinion now. But I love Scream 4. It is my favourite sequel of all time. And it's just, Jill is just a fantastic killer, and I do think she had every motivation to kill Jenny. You cannot correct that. I know Charlie mentions Jenny, but I think he just recorded Jill doing it. Jill had every motivation to kill Jenny, and I know sometimes it's hard to debate who killed who, but I do think she got at least 4 kills in this film. I know we obviously know who she killed post reveal, but Jenny, and then you could pick one of the random ones and just say it was Jill. But like, I just think Jill was a bit more hands-on than some of the other killers, like Ethan and Quinn, for example. I just feel like Jill needs a bit more respect. Anyway, but yeah, Jill is the queen of ghost faces, and I love it when I see rankings or people talking about it and saying she's the best female ghost face, because she is. She is the best female ghost face, and Jill, Stu, and Billy, Roman, and Mickey are easy top 5 for me, and no one else comes close, apart from maybe like Charlie, Nancy, and Amber. But the rest are all where they're supposed to be. And again, my rankings do change numerous times, but this is how strong I feel, and I'm happy with my ranking. And Jill, the only one is the only well, is the only one I'm putting above the OGs. So please don't ask my opinion. The OGs are still in top 3. Jill is amazing, 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 amazing killer. And I'm glad that Scream 4, again, like Scream 3, is getting more love, and people are starting to see how meta Jill's reveal was. It's just supposed to be for Sydney 2.0, but then became the anti Sydney. I love it, it's genius. But yeah, and then rewatching the film and seeing, like, you know, how messed up she is from the beginning, it's just like, yeah, I love it. Jill is a fantastic killer. But there we have it. Ghostface Killers are finally up to date. And I wanted to do it as sorry, I just struggle to speak sometimes. I wanted to do it as close to Scream 7 as possible, because I will be doing another Ghostface killing rankings, maybe like a month or two after Scream 7 releases next year. But I just wanted to make sure I've got all of them up to date, because I think I left like the Scream 6 killers off my last ranking last time. I don't remember. But yeah, that's all 14 done. And yeah, they've got his book from Tesco, by the way, but it's really good, and it's got my name on it and Ravenclaw. So yeah, anyway, that's a bit of a sidetrack. But yeah, sorry everyone again for not being active. I'm gonna try and be as active as possible. I'm more active on TikTok, to be honest, even though I do have loads of breaks from TikTok. But it's just one of those things. It's like, I know you have to like post up like daily or weekly to get the algorithm going, but it's just sometimes it's not how it is. Sometimes you're just too busy, or you're just too tired to post anything. So I wanted to get this video out because it's been in the sidelines for like ages, and I wanted to get it out. And I've got more ideas and more plans for my YouTube. So I want to get more subscribers. I want to get more viewership and stuff. I'm going to try my best. I need to get technology as well, so the videos don't sound so tinny. But you do what you can. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I want to do what I can. I'm working from the foundation up, so when I look back, I'll be like, oh, to be fair, I did pretty well with like barely anything to do for YouTube. But I want to do live streams as well at some point. I just want to get myself going. But yeah, anyway, thank you for this very, very long video. Like, comment, and subscribe. I want to see who's your favorite killer, who's your least favorite killer, what's your favorite Scream film. Like, let me know. Yeah. So stay up to date. The bell notification. If you want to put all notifications rather than personalised, then you'll see every single up to date I can. Keep an eye on the community tab, because I will be trying to do polls and posts as often as I can. And stay tuned, because I'm going to look back at that poll and decide what I want to do next. I think it's going to be a Harry Potter related video next, but we'll find out, because it might be Star Wars. You never know. Anyway, thank you so much, and see you in the next one, everyone.